how does an artist make or break into a kind of significance on their own? One of the things, one of the biggest obstacle or barrier for actually succeeding as an artist is to actually be able to break out of obscurity and become more visible to the public at large. And as a solo artist, if you work on your own, I can assure you that that's one of the most difficult things you will encounter. And the chances are that you will fail to break out of that obscurity. And this is mainly because of the amount of noise, the amount of people trying to do the same thing, trying to sort of make it in the extremely competitive art market. But there's a solution to this. There's a solution. And one of the solutions that actually works practical is that you must keep your ego in check. By this I mean you should work on yourself and be humble enough to seek out like-minded artists, serious artists that you have to, in a sense, bring into your space. You need at least 5 other artists who share the same vision. You may need to sell the vision to them. You may need to actually call a meeting, buy some drinks, write out some kind of manifesto, develop a kind of, I would say, a marketing fact sheet that you use to sell the idea to them. And what you want to do is to form a group. You need a group, like a band, like a musician. You need to make yourself into a group. Call yourself a name. Find a name that's common, that represents your vision. Make the group a strong group by agreeing on certain principles. The idea of the group is not to control anybody's creativity, but to form an energy source, a battery that can power everyone into some kind of significance. So when you form the group, you should have people who are good at certain things, handle certain things. Maybe some people are good at word of mouth spreading the message of the group. Some people need to be creating material for promoting the group. But the group must work generally to make everyone move at the same space. The pace and space must be a united front. Say, for example, you call your name or you make up a name. Let's say your name is A. So under A, there are 5 artists. A represents everyone. So for example, you think about it like this. If you wanted to show your work in a city center gallery for like a week, those ones you can hire, that means that 5 of you will put up the money, promote the space, rent the space, market the art, and share the proceeds. Of course, not everyone's going to sell. Maybe there's no sales, but it begins to create a strong image for all of you guys, and the more you can maintain the strength of that group, if you can keep it up, it needs a lot of work, but it is one of the many ways that you can actually crack that obscurity barrier and start making yourself known. Once the group is broken into the known world, so to say, I bracket that, but once you have actually maybe made up to like 5 to 10 exhibitions. They don't have to be long exhibitions. They may be just an exhibition for 2 days, a day, that kind of stuff. Once you have made a certain kind of traction, then the next thing is to begin to go wider and invest more in the group's future. Now, some people may say, I don't want to be in a group and all that, and they are actually not wrong in trying to do that, but I'm speaking to young artists who are trying to make sure that what they're doing has some relevance. When you work as a group, like a band, you notice that bands generally seem to have, and when I mean bands, I'm talking about musical bands, they tend to be able to create more buzz when they start, because you're going to see like 4 guys in a band, rock band. Each person brings their expertise, each person brings their crowd, and maybe instead of just being one person, all of a sudden, if everybody brings 3 people each, that means 12 people now know who you are, as opposed to you on your own having to find those 12 people and wasting all that energy. So if you can do that in art also, you'll find out that more people get to see your work than otherwise. And if the group is serious about teamwork and that kind of synergy, you can find that the group growth, the way that group expands its influence, will be much faster. So, in summary, if you are working in a group, you tend to have more energy to even do your work, because the whole point of the group is to bring about better management. And this will come usually when people know what they are good at, respect the order of the group, do the work they need to do, and look straight ahead into the future. And of course, the moment being the most important time, but the future is where you then keep your eyes. And so if you're serious about really breaking out of that obscurity that I'm talking about, you should think about forming groups with other artists you know. Mind you, the artists you know don't necessarily have to be painters or sculptors. They could be pianists, they could be violinists, they could be drummers, whatever. But the fact is that whenever you do a show, you work with them to produce the kind of effect that on your own you couldn't do. So imagine you had a violinist and musician in your group. He may be providing the background music. He may be composing new music that he presents as part of the art show. You see? So you don't have to always paint. It could be, the person could even be a dancer, classical dancer. It depends on really what kind of people you find. But each person will contribute what they're good at to the group. And this can make a hell of a lot of difference in how the public perceives your group and how fast you break this obscurity barrier and start getting recognized, known by your peers. So keep that in mind as you move forward in your artwork. Remember, your art doesn't mean a thing, at least not to anybody, until people start to resonate with it. So a group work can make all the difference. At the end of the day, it depends on you. Whatever way you want to do it is fine, but all will require hard work. And with that, I hope you put in all your efforts to develop and continue to make your art great. With that said, have a good day. Ciao.